Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm USC fan Michael Muto here with USC fan and expert Greg Famong. Greg, it's been too long. How are you?
Merry Christmas, buddy. How you doing?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Festivus for the rest of us,
That's
everything.
right. Happy holidays.
Yeah, yeah. So it's my fault for the delay, and then the holidays, and nothing was really going on. Then signing day happened, so we'll get to that. Bowl game prep. We just got to make sure we have information for everybody, and so there was a delay, and we apologize.
It's no one's fault, Michael.
No one's fault.
This is what happens, man. It's the holidays. Things come up. We're busy. There's not a lot going on.
We can't post the day before advanced signing day. That'd just be a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about. At least that's like super newsworthy, like that you could devote a podcast to.
No.
But Notre Dame took care of that. So
now we're good. Now we're ready. To go.
Now we've got stuff to talk about.
We're ready to go into 2018.
That's right.
Don't worry, everyone. We have stuff to talk about.
That's right. Things are happening.
We're rolling. We probably should bank through this here. So let's start with signing day. Greg, you're the college football expert. Explain advanced signing day to those who may not know.
So basically, there's been like a kind of a push in the last few years for like an early signing day. So normally it's always like the first week in February that all the recruits sign. Like obviously players are committed throughout the process. Like they can commit years in advance, but they can't officially sign. It used to be they can't officially sign until signing day, which is, like I said, the first week in February. So what happened was a lot of coaches were saying, why don't we have an early one for kids that want to sign and they want to end the process? So, they don't have coaches from other schools calling them and basically just trying to get them to flip their commitment. Because that was the thing that was happening is, coaches are always trying to flip commitments. Guys committed to USC,
right.
Notre Dame coaches are calling them and vice versa. So they said, why don't you let them sign early? And then that can be over with and we don't have to recruit them anymore. And, everyone can just move on. And so they did it. That's what it was. So
here's my one question about advanced signing day.
Okay.
Can guys unsign?
No.
Okay. So once you're on the dotted line, you're good to go.
Yeah, then you're then technically you're not supposed to be able to like you can't if you renege, it's like transferring.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, like if you say after you sign, if you say, I changed my mind, I want to go somewhere else, it's supposed to be okay, you have to sit a year. Interesting enough, that didn't happen with a Notre Dame signee in 2013 that is a current Raider. Andy Vanderdoes, he signed with Notre Dame on signing day, and then like a month later, he changed his mind and he said he wanted to go to UCLA instead. And it was a big deal, and Notre Dame was like, okay, well, that's fine, but you have to sit a year. And he petitioned the NCAA, and the NCAA was like, actually, you don't have to sit a year. So,
because we arbitrarily do whatever we want.
We do whatever we feel like. So whatever, but so yeah, that's what it is. So
okay, so that's a good explanation.
Yeah,
let's start with the Trojans because they had less players who early signed, and they had the biggest player early signed. So as we know, I've historically stated on our like 70 episodes of this podcast that I don't really care about recruits. And that has been further emphasized by the play of some of USC's heralded recruits, like one Olawe Batiku, who can't seem to get on the field, which is hurtful. Then there's guys like Stephen Carr who can get on the field and are going to make impacts in the upcoming Cotton Bowl. So I don't know. I think recruits it's a tough sell talking about 18-year-olds. However, USC had a fun recruit early sign this year. And it's the number one recruit in the class of 20, or was the number one recruit in the class of 2019. That's right, 2019. You want modern day quarterback JT Daniels. He petitioned the NCAA to reclassify as a 2018 recruit and said he's coming to USC. So that's super exciting and fun and a little unexpected.
There were rumblings about this a few weeks ago, and he shot it down. Like, no, I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that. And then, lo and behold, he is going to do that. Um,
So that's the
so
big one.
yeah, so I mean, he I don't know where he would be put into this class, but I mean, he's elite, right? Every school
Yeah,
wants him.
yeah.
Um, he's great. I saw him play a game against St. John Bosco a couple weeks ago. I mean, he's a big kid. He's a good athlete. He throws a great ball. Um, it's annoying. It's annoying for
If
me. And you're gonna get his teammate.
That's what everyone says. That's the other
EQ
big
Brown's
domino
brother.
fall.
Yeah, EQ's brother. He's gonna get him too, and that hurts me the most because I've probably said on the pod before, but there were three St. Brown brothers, and Notre Dame only got one. It's just impossible. There's three brothers, and it's always like, oh, like look at the like the Bosas, right? Like the Bosas at
The
Ohio State.
Khalils at USC.
Yeah, the Khalils are like it's just one of those things. Like, oh, I'm getting the brother, and all the brothers, all the rest of them show up. No, that's not what happened. And the best one of the group is going to end up at USC, and he's going to torment me for 3 years,
Till he goes pro.
and it makes me so sad. And this kid, JT Daniels, like of course they go to high school together, and so now they're going to be buddies for 3 years until they go to college, until they go to the pros.
He's the domino that falls. To
I mean,
get,
Amon
I'm on
Amon
St.
Ross St.
Brown.
Brown
I'm on
is
Ross St. Brown.
he's like Odell Beckham. That's what he is. He's Odell Beckham.
I mean, he's 18 years old.
But that's what he plays. He's that size. He has that kind of attitude. He's that good.
Why?
You can not care because you take it for granted because you get 5-star recruits whenever you feel like it. Notre Dame does not. So
there were the fans were calling for St. Brown when USC was kind of sliding at the beginning of the season. They said they need a receiver. This is the best receiver in the class. USC needs to sign him. So he's not an early signee. I know we're talking about him a lot, but all signs point to St. Brown signing with USC in February.
I can't
because his buddy JT Daniels.
I can't believe he's not enrolling early.
I mean,
maybe he is, but I would think that he would.
I don't think it matters, honestly. Like,
no, I don't think it matters for him because he's good enough to where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he seems like the type of person like football is his thing, right? He's not a person who's playing multiple sports. So I would just assume that he would be like, all right, like I finished my senior year and I'm ready to go. I don't need the second semester of my senior year.
Maybe one of his brothers was like, hey, April's really fun.
I mean, EQ did
high school.
I don't think either of the older brothers did it. So,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they value education.
Yeah, I was thinking. I can't believe it's almost preposterous that Notre Dame would ever beat USC, given
like on the playing field or in the recruiting battles. What are we talking about?
On the playing field, given the recruiting battles, because Notre Dame doesn't have like 2 5-star recruits like in the city of South Bend or Mishawaka.
There's zero.
That doesn't happen. Like they had one, Jalen Smith, who's from Fort Wayne, and it's like he went to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame didn't really have to recruit him because it's like I'm from Indiana, I want to go to Notre Dame, and with USC, it's every year. Every year. There's like 4 or 5 of these guys. They're like, yeah, I'm going to USC. It's what I do.
Of course I'm going to USC.
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
I'm from Southern California. I'm an Orange County quarterback. What other school would I go to?
Right. Of course I'm going to go to USC. I go to Mater Dei. Every Mater Dei quarterback ever has gone to USC. Oh, how do you – 49-14, nice. Michael. That's not –
Hey, whatever.
49-14.
I can say the records, but
it's such a bummer.
Doesn't really matter.
Records don't matter, Michael.
Records don't matter. It's head-to-head.
We kept you out of the BC, the championship, the playoff. Makes me very happy.
So yeah, USC had 9 early signees. The one has not been announced yet. It's a safety from Oregon. They flipped a guy from UCLA. We'll go over recruiting a little more in depth once the season's over and we have the final breakdown. Um, there's a DB who's supposed to be pretty good. He's a wide receiver and a DB. So I think his name's like Connor Williams or something. Don't care. Just don't care. All I'm focused on, Cotton Bowl. JT Daniels quarterbacking the future, Cotton Bowl. I don't have time for some guys. Little of this, little of that, whatever.
That hurts my feelings.
It's all hodgepodge to me right now.
Ugh. You and your laissez-faire attitude.
That's how I feel about recruits. It's no big deal. First of all, they all should come here anyways to Southern California.
It's such privilege.
It is. So you know what? Let's sidetrack for a second before we get into Notre Dame's early signees. I posed this question in one of our email chains. This was before JT Daniels signed, by the way. If you were the number one quarterback prospect in the nation, what school would you go to?
Do you want to tell me? I told you my answer, but
I don't remember.
You don't remember? How do you not remember? That hurts my feelings too.
There's a lot of emails in our email chain.
Oh, I said USC actually. I said USC and I said Texas A&M because of Jimbo Fisher.
I do remember that now. Now that you say it, I just wanted to hear it. Maybe I wanted to hear it again. That might have been what was happening.
I think like Jimbo Fisher, like Florida State, they run my favorite offense in college football. It's my favorite one because they do everything. They do I formation. They can do spread. They can, like Tim was talking about, like they don't do hurry up.
They're a little slow, I think it was.
And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, they don't do hurry up. Like, why does a college quarterback who's a passer, why are they concerned about that? It's like, of course they can go hurry up if they need to, but they're not playing like super fast like Oregon or something.
Right. Which doesn't seem to be an asset at the next level.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why you would be like, you know what? I need to go somewhere where we play like 90 plays.
It really works out for Paxton Lynch in Memphis.
Yeah, like they're super. They have post style principles. They do shotgun. They do everything. And then I said USC because
same answer.
It just kind of lends itself.
Agreed.
So they're not like a gimmicky kind of offense. So
yeah, USC excluded. I just said no snow. That's all I cared about, everybody. Was just
you did say no
keep
snow.
Me out of the snow. Keep me out of the snow, and I'll be good to go. A good team, good coach, whoever, coaching carousel. I don't know who's good at the moment. Maybe Texas. Maybe get that burnt orange going again, Tom Herman. That'd be a fun gig. I probably want to be out of the Big 12. I don't like the Big 12 personally.
Well, I mean, Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma.
Yeah, no.
Won the Heisman.
You mean Johnny Manziel 2.0?
Won the Heisman.
My comment still stands.
That's not a prerequisite to NFL success.
Exactly. Alabama. I think Alabama would be a good one just because they're really good.
Yeah. They just have they don't have a good track record.
No, but I don't think those guys are that good. That's just they don't focus on getting they just get the best quarterback from Alabama every year probably. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. And they just got a kid from Bishop from the Las Vegas school, Bishop Gorman.
I don't trust that school one bit.
You don't trust them?
In any sport. Any sport. What that's Alizé Mack, that's Snoop Dogg's kid. That's there's another receiver.
Well, and so I can't think. What do you think? You think they're what?
I think they are maximizing their high school potential, but not necessarily preparing them for the next level.
Got it.
Because it's just a sports academy, like on the Nevada border or something.
Correct.
It's some weird spot.
What's in Las Vegas?
That probably means they have loose educational rules. They get these kids in and out. Who's Shabazz Muhammad? Wasn't he a Bishop Gorman guy?
I guess so.
He was terrible.
Is that basketball?
Yeah, that's basketball. Sorry.
I don't care about that.
I'm just saying, in general, I don't trust Bishop Gorman Sports Academy.
Well, what do you think of IMG then?
Similar.
Really?
But they have better players, though.
I think they have a better track record in college.
And that's Florida.
It is Florida.
That's the Wild Wild West, so.
But those kids are coming from
Yeah.
all over the place. Like they're like I'm sure similar happens at Bishop Gorman, but IMG, like they have kids. It's like, oh yeah, I moved from Chicago.
I think IMG is a better Bishop Gorman. So like, Bishop Gorman's trying to be IMG.
Mm.
They're a second-rate IMG academy. All right, enough about. Or no, it's more high school talk. Who did Notre Dame early sign, Greg? They had like 20 kids, right?
21.
21 that I don't care about, but hit me.
Yeah, they signed 21 players.
Quarterback, right?
Quarterback, the kid from Pennsylvania, which makes me happy. I like
That's
so
a Notre
I like
Dame.
that.
It's a Notre Dame thing.
It is a Notre Dame thing, and I like that. I like it when they focus out in like Pennsylvania and Ohio. I mean, like the kid, the two best players that they got, Houston Griffith, who actually went to IMG, and Kevin Austin.
He's a DB, right?
Kids. Yes.
Griffith is the DB and Austin is the wide receiver.
Yeah. So the big four are Phil Jurkovic, he's the quarterback from PA, and Houston Griffith from IMG, but he's like native from Chicago.
Okay.
So he's like a Midwest kid who went down to IMG. And then there was Derek Allen, safety from Georgia, which Notre Dame does not.
Sure. Yeah.
Notre Dame does not get kids from Georgia. So those are the big four that I'm very excited about. And then there's a bunch of, kids that we don't really need to go into on this podcast. But it's a good class. It's a good class. I don't understand the offensive line situation as much. Usually they do a lot better there with like higher ranked kids, but
maybe offensive line comes later. I think SC only had one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they only have 9, so USC you would hope it would come later because it's going to be a very small class if it doesn't. So it's exciting. I mean, it was an exciting time, and to get 21 in fold.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
I mean, it gives them an extra month to focus on the people that they really want to focus on. So yeah, it's fun. I like signing day. I like recruits. I like watching their film and stuff.
I like it. I like it all in one day. This early thing threw me for a loop. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always following it, so I don't really care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I like that I don't have to worry about like last minute, like, oh, such and such, like rumors with, Kevin Austin, he's thinking about going on a visit, or it's like it prolongs the situation where like guys might feel like changing minds or something like that.
Right.
Which is always,
or less guys to worry about because a lot of them are already taken care of. So your mind can kind of focus on what's left.
So like there's so all the committed guys signed. So it's not like there's someone who's committed, and because that's like the big thing, right? Like if you have a guy who's committed to your program but then doesn't sign, you have to feel like, well, all right, are you committed or what's going on? Because you didn't sign. So you'd almost have to treat them like they weren't committed.
Right.
So yeah, so that was the good news of, I guess, the 20th.
I mean, there's no bad news on signing day. It's like the NFL draft. It's just hopes and dreams, and the future's here.
Right.
It's all promise.
Yeah.
But now to the things that really matter. The games. Notre Dame plays LSU in the Citrus Bowl in Orlando at Camping World Stadium.
So many good
January
memories.
1st. So many good memories.
So many good memories. Let's see. What was it?
Is that where the Boca Raton Bowl happened?
Was it 49-14 that they lost to Alabama in the national championship game? Is that what that was?
Something like that.
42-14 that they lost, and then they lost 41-8 to Miami. So things are going really well for Notre Dame in that stadium.
Yeah, not great. Not great. One advantage though, LSU running back, what's his name? Darius Geis, was his name? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
He may not play because he's injured / trying to go pro.
He said he was going to play.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Rosen. Was it tonight?
Yeah.
Where, I didn't really hear anything until like closer to the bowl game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, not playing.
Yeah,
Whoops.
concussion.
Because they can't, because they won't sell tickets if they know people are out. I'm sure there's like some
Okay.
NCAA kibosh on announcing you're not playing.
I see. Yeah.
Conspiracy. NCAA. Don't trust them.
Well, I saw that Geis was at practice today, so I think he's planning
I
to
saw
give it
that
a
too.
go. I mean, they're
So what
down
can
like
we?
they're down a whole bunch of starters on defense though, like the linebackers. There's a defensive lineman who's out, so I mean they're pretty banged up.
So let's start with the mental state. What
Okay.
team? Is there a reason to suspect either team may no show this thing? Because it's bowl games. Anything's possible.
Well, there's a reason to suspect Notre Dame might no show to the thing. Um,
It's just because to get this thing over with.
well, it's just I mean, look at how they ended the season. You know, I mean, look,
Yeah.
they're saying all the right things now. Like the corner Julian Love, like he gave an interview talking about, oh, we got a chance to recharge our batteries and we're back in the fold and excited to play and we want to redeem ourselves or whatever. But I mean, they always say the right things. And then after they get blown out by Stanford and Brian Kelly says, well, I looked in their eyes and they looked mentally drained, which, I don't, I don't really know what to make of that. Like, so going into the Stanford game, they talk about, oh, we really want to win 10 games. We really wanted to win 10 games. And now they're saying again, we really want to win 10 games. So I don't know. So much of these bowl games come down to, like you said, what team really wants it? Like, what
Yeah.
team really wants to win? What team is really into it?
Who's showing up?
Yeah. And
But
I mean, I
LSU
don't.
doesn't have a reason to show up either.
Yeah, like
So
it's not like I follow. It's not like
Ed
I follow
Orgeron.
LSU or their team, or I don't know the dynamics. But you know, with Notre Dame, I'm just not. I have a bad feeling about it, and I don't feel like there's a lot of need to win, and there isn't. But you know, in these, like, you have to manufacture that. Like when Notre Dame played LSU in 2014, when they finished the year poorly, like they were starting Malik Zaire.
Right.
So it was like there was
So that
the
was
infuse
a
of,
fun thing.
yeah, like
Okay.
that excitement. And Malik Zaire is a crazy competitive person, so he definitely was into it. That was the biggest game of his life. So, you had that kind of variable. Right now, people are talking about Brandon Wimbush isn't that good, and they want Jerkovic to start over him next year, and Brian Kelly's talking about how the problems that Wimbush has are physical and not mental. It's like when you're saying no, he doesn't have problems mentally. Like he obviously does then.
Right.
If you say no, then it's obviously yes. Right?
Well,
And
I mean, or no.
no,
But yes, you're trying to hide something. Like you're
yeah,
trying
like
to
no,
overcompensate.
it's not. And I'll tell you how it's a mental thing with him, because if it was only mechanical, then his hesitation wouldn't show up in other facets of the game.
Well, they'd fix it.
You
Not to
fix
be
it,
like
yeah, but
super obvious, but if it's mechanical, he'd be doing different things. He'd hold the ball different. His drops
I
would
mean
look different. His footwork would be different.
sometimes in season it's hard to really fix. Because it's like, look, we're in games and we can't be really working on this stuff because we have game plans. It's something you need to work on in the off season. But when you see him like on zone read plays or RPOs or something like that, and he's always giving the ball up, he's never keeping it for himself. Like that just kind of shows like he's not being aggressive. He's not
Because
really
that's
reading
his
these
bread and
plays
butter.
out. Yeah, like he's not really reading these plays out. It's easy to just give it up every single time. And they all can't be reads to give the ball to the running back.
No.
So it's like that's where you see like, oh, okay, he's struggling with his confidence because he's giving the ball up all the time. So I mean, like you say, it comes down to whether or not Wimbush shows up. And I think it matters for the confidence of the team. And The problem is we wonder which Wimbush is going to show up, and he's going to be without three wide receivers or three weapons.
You took the segue right out of my mouth.
I did take this segue out of your mouth.
So who's gone? There's some players suspended. Who do we
Well,
lose?
okay, just Chase Claypool is out because he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
So he had surgery. So his
He
absence
broke his collarbone, right?
it's not tendons. It sounded like
Shoulder.
I mean they said he tore tendons in his shoulder,
Well,
but he's not out for that long. It sounds to me like it was like a badly separated shoulder, basically.
it's just not worth it to play in this dumb bowl game.
Yeah,
When you have a whole
I
offseason.
guess Brian Kelly was like, we could just brace it up, but I mean, there's no point to that. So he's out.
It's like we can't throw the ball downfield anyways. So
Yeah, so that's
What do
just
we-
standard.
what do we
Like,
need him
that's
for?
just standard. The guy got hurt, he can't play.
one done.
Number 2 receiver. Well, I say number 2 because number 2 in catches, but I think he's the best receiver on the team. Kevin Stepherson, got caught shoplifting
Oops.
$60 a pair of Nautica sweatpants, and so that came out first. But apparently, so he was suspended like indefinitely, like right away. Like basically, he's suspended indefinitely from all team-related activities. Which sounds to me like, as soon as this bowl game gets over, we're all going to go back to campus and figure out what to do with this kid.
Who's already kind of in the doghouse.
Already kind of he was not making the best choices. Then, like a day later or 2 days later, it breaks that he was also pulled over and charged with drug possession and speeding. And like driving on a suspended license or something.
Now, was he driving under the influence? No,
I
right?
don't. That was not charged. Like I don't know if he was arrested or what he was, but he was charged with something. Like he was given a ticket or whatever. Either way, he won't be playing in the bowl game, and I would have to think that he will not be a member of the Notre Dame football program anymore. I mean, this is like the third or fourth mistake on his part. And these are big ones. Like he's already been arrested for drug possession. And
he was in the car with all those other guys, right?
He was in the car, and then
beginning of last season. Yeah.
He was suspended for the first 4 games of this year for whatever reason.
Undisclosed.
Yeah, and now he's getting arrested again.
Sorry, Kev.
I don't see how he continues. I don't. There's been articles written like that Notre Dame needs to let him go.
That's a bit harsh, but
I'm not totally comfortable. I mean, like
needs is a strong word.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: they're written by reporters on the Notre Dame beat. So it's like, they're working professionals, right? They're not like me. They're not bloggers. So it's not sanctimonious on their part. It's just, I think that they have more information than I have, and they probably know the circumstances a little bit better, and they're probably right. Like he probably does need to just kind of move on.
Because clearly the Notre Dame institution is not in his best interest.
Right.
He clearly can't make it work up there if you're always getting in trouble.
Right. And it's for something like you got pulled over, and then like a day later, 2 days later, you go and steal something. You steal some
that's done a good
sweatpants.
combo.
You steal some sweatpants. Like it's so foolish. Like, people are saying, and it's true. It's not like it's not true. Like they get free stuff all the time. They give them free stuff.
Yeah, but Nautica's not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor.
I know we're old, Greg, because Nautica stuff was cool when we were in high school.
It was cool. That's another thing.
That's a blast from the past.
But it's true. Like they do get free stuff all the time. So why do you have to steal this? But not just that. stealing, everyone knows that's a no good, right? Like you,
That's an obvious one, yeah.
yeah, like that's not. There's no context associated with that, right? Like even if you got pulled over for drug possession, it's like, well, maybe it's not yours, or I don't normally. It was on me. It's not very much. Like
It's legal in some places. Who are we
yeah, it's
to
legal in
cast the
some
first
places.
stone?
There's things that come up, right? Or if you got in a fight at a bar, like I didn't go looking for a fight, but then something happened. I felt like I had to defend myself.
Extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, there are things that can
Not
happen.
so much for
Oh, I
stealing.
kind of get it. For stealing, it's like I went into the thing, I didn't plan to pay for it, and I tried to leave. Like, that's what are you doing? How are you doing that?
The day after, I got in trouble for drugs and speeding. Whoops.
Yeah, so
Not the
so
best situation.
anyway, so he's out.
So after Kev, who's next? Who else is out?
Um, Alize Mack is out. He
Undisclosed, correct?
he was suspended for a violation of team rules. And that's another one where it's like he's kind of been in and out all season in terms of like
He's
his
faded.
play.
He faded towards the end.
He totally faded.
However, so did the program. So
He played one snap against Stanford, and that was because something happened to Durham Smythe. So
but he was the leading receiver, wasn't he? For like half the season, for most of the season?
I mean, he was second.
Statistically, not like,
I think he was second. Like there was a time, like there was, like after 3 games, he led the team in receptions, but that went away kind of quickly. But he was just kind of a disappointment. Like we didn't really see the big plays that we thought we'd see from him, and he missed a lot of plays that could have been made, and now he's getting suspended for whatever reason. It's just another one. Like, what's going on with this guy? What's going on? Like, you're not taking this stuff seriously. Like, you're not into it. So he's out. So you have Stepherson, Mack, Claypool, all out, and
there's one other guy, isn't there? Backup running back or something?
well, that's C.J. Holmes. Yeah. I mean, there's also a backup tight end, but C.J. Holmes was caught up in the Kevin Stepherson thing.
The shoplifting, not the drugs.
Yeah, the shoplifting, right? And
Just
then
to clarify.
and then there's Brock Wright, who he hurt his shoulder, a backup tight end, so
Yeah,
he's injured. Yeah, that's not a big deal. So you have these receivers who are out, and you have a quarterback who's struggled, and now he's down 3 receivers.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
I feel like we've been doing this a couple of years now, and before every bowl game, Notre Dame gets guys suspended. It seems to be a trend.
Well, let me think.
Because it happened last year.
Well, it did not happen last year because they didn't go to a bowl game. It happened in 2015.
But it happened to start the season last year. Not a bowl game, though. And then it happened against Ohio State.
Correct. It happened against Ohio State. The same people, actually. So Redfield was suspended. Violation of team rules. Same with Jerry Tillery. Jerry Tillery, like it was like the day before the game. It's like, oh yeah, he's not going to play. I'm trying to think if those were the only 2 at the time.
I'm trying to not be too self-righteous here, but I feel like besides the one time, not too many USC guys get suspended for games.
Well, on account of like Tillery and Redfield, for the bowl game, that wasn't like a breaking the law thing. That was a violation of team rules. So, I mean, you can have other programs who just, I don't know what the transgression is, but maybe those things happen and they look the other way. Obviously,
like a late to the bus kind of stitch or something.
Yeah, like late to like, oh, missed the team meeting or something. Obviously the shoplifting is not. It's like
different.
There's no excuse for that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's a situation where it's repeat offenders, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know.
Uh,
It leads to an air about the game, the lead up to it, that just doesn't feel good.
no,
And
no.
I wish it did. I wish it felt better because you know it just God, what a waste! Like such a fun team and such a fun season that has just gone completely haywire.
So who you got? This is it.
Well, do you know the spread?
I can't remember if it's 3 or 1. Give
Well,
me
it
one
opened
second.
up at
It's 3.
LSU 2.5, so it went up a half point.
LSU's a 3-point favorite. Over under 51.5. It's on ESPN, DirecTV channel 206. Oh,
um,
no, no. Well, I read the wrong line. It's on ABC.
okay.
My bad.
um,
Darius Geis, probable.
I have to take LSU.
I wanted to take Notre Dame just for fun, and I can't even talk myself into it.
Yeah, I just don't have a good feeling about it.
I feel like the tea leaves, springboard into 2018, guys getting suspended, like the tea leaves are reading for letdown.
Right, right.
So I'm with you.
So, oh well.
All right, that's a go out on a whimper.
Yeah, maybe they'll surprise me.
I mean, anything's possible. That's New Year's Day.
I mean, look, the spread is 3, right? It's not like it's 15.
True.
If Notre Dame
All right.
won, it's not like a huge upset or anything.
No, no, no. No, LSU could totally no show or score like 10 points or something.
Or Notre Dame could just beat them. I mean,
Yeah.
they were better for
Pretty evenly
more.
matched teams.
Notre
Yeah.
Dame was good for longer than LSU was good.
They
Okay,
still have
this
Mike
is a team.
McGlinchey, Quentin Nelson, Josh Adams. Like they
They
can figure
lost
it
to
out.
Troy.
Yeah.
LSU lost to Troy. So
So it's definitely in the realm of possibility that Notre Dame could beat them.
correct.
As we all gloomy guess on them. All right, let's go to the big game. The one that still doesn't matter, even though it's a big 5 or whatever. Big 6, that's right.
New Year's 6.
That's New Year's 6. Even though it's not on New Year's. It's on Friday. This is stupid.
Terrible.
The University of Southern California versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Probably the last game for Trojan hero, Sam Darnold.
Is that where that's going now?
I told you earlier that if JT Daniels is coming to town, he's not rearranging his whole life to go sit on a bench somewhere.
True. At least to know he's going to sit on the bench. I mean, obviously he has to compete for it, but
I mean, who knows with Clay Helton?
he's not going to rearrange his whole life to. He's not
to
going to
sit on a
rearrange
bench
his
and
whole
then
life
compete.
to back up Darnold.
Right. Because, you figure if Darnold stays, so he's guaranteed to redshirt. And then the next year, he could get in a competition with Sears or Fink. And it's like, great, I just wasted 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
Coming out earlier, as opposed to, Clay Helton gives you a wink. Open competition.
Right.
So, yeah. So, most likely the last game for Sam Darnold. Most likely the game for, dare I say, one of the most underrated Trojans of all time, Ronald Jones II, even though he was an All-American.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't get enough love. I feel like the Sam Darnold shine kind of you can't see Ronald Jones as much, even though 1,800 yards, like 18 touchdowns, fifth all time or sixth all time in Trojan rushing.
Oh.
I just think he should be more popular. I'm not saying he's not popular. I just think he's a little undervalued.
You mean nationally or?
That's nationally for sure.
Okay.
But just inside the program.
Among the fan base?
Yeah, by the people who should love him.
Okay.
I feel like he should get a little more, just a little, a little more love. That's all.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't get any. I just think more praise should be heaped on him.
Okay.
Like I said in the preview, Darnold's 1, Jones is 1B. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way.
Ran for almost 1,500 yards.
Yeah. I mean, he's good, man. So, his last game, I was going to the Ohio State blogs to see what they said about the Trojan players. They're worried about Darnold, obviously. Urban Meyer had some really nice things to say about Ronald Jones. He said, I finally got to watch some tape on him, and he's one of the best running backs nationally.
Uh-huh.
So that was good to hear by the hated Urban Meyer. So I don't know, Greg. I don't know what's going to happen. I think the Trojans can keep it close. I know there's a Bosa brother on Ohio State's defense, and their defense is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
But USC's pretty good. The receivers really came around. I don't think so. One thing I usually in my head for bowl games is the conference championship game to bowl game layoff affects teams like Oregon or like those fast-paced like rhythm teams.
Uh-huh.
And USC is definitely not a rhythm team. So I don't think the layoff hurts them. I think more practice only helps them. So I don't think that'll be a problem. JT Barrett, the other JT that we mentioned on this podcast, he the best maybe quarterback and statistically in the Big Ten ever. He still's got that bum knee a little bit. I don't know how he scored 45 combined touchdowns this year. Shocked me.
They score the ball though.
They do.
I mean, that's no joke.
The big concern for me is going to be Clancy Pendergrass doing the USC. We put our corners on an island, and if there's one thing Ohio State has, it's speed. And these guys can just get behind him. It's not really like a technique or a blown coverage thing. It's just it's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And if JT Barrett, who's played for like 17 years at Ohio State, he knows how to read a defense, so they might take advantage of it. That's the one concern I have, is the receivers getting behind the DBs, which is going to happen. It just hopefully doesn't happen a lot or early. Like this thing could be like 24-7 halfway through the second quarter, Ohio State. It wouldn't even shock me.
See, the thing about Ohio State is they are kind of a better version of Notre Dame on offense.
They just pound it,
well,
but then they can also hit the big play.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like if Brandon Wimbush, so let me just look. Like JT Barrett is a 65% passer. Like if Brandon Wimbush was a 65% passer this year, like they would be in the playoff.
I mean, and he was against USC, so
was he?
I think so.
I don't think. I bet you. Yeah. Honestly,
I'll look
I think
it up.
was,
you talk. I'll look it up.
No. I already know what it is. It was 9. He was 9 of 19
Oof.
against USC.
Really?
Yeah. He was
I just remember the completions.
He was efficient. Yeah, 9 of 19 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he didn't. It was the run. He did it running. But the point is like, if Brandon Wimbush was 65% passer, they would have been in the playoff. There's no question in my mind. So, and that's what JT Barrett is. 65% passer. He's not great. You know, like he can go through stretches where it's like like this guy. This is why he's been in college for 5 years, because he can't go on to the NFL because he's not a good passer. And then he'll just go like 3 or 4 series where it's like, has he ever thrown an incompletion? Like that's how they run. Like when they're hot, they're incredible. But
some of the fans want the backup quarterback. They wanted him to play against Wisconsin. Dwayne Haskins. So I mean,
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's Ohio State. You know, whoever's playing, they're going to do fine. Like they won a national championship with their freaking 3rd-team quarterback.
That's true. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think it'll be a good one. Ohio State does come to play in bowl games. Urban Meyer's a better coach. That worries me.
He is special teams too.
Special teams, it's rough for USC.
Special teams, bro.
Often documented on this podcast. It'll be nice playing in the Dome, so I think that helps USC.
What time is the game?
The game is Friday night, so I think like 5:30. I just had it up. Hold on. Let's see what we got. USC is still a 7-point 7.5 point underdog. Let's see. It's Friday. They always call them Southern Cal. I can never see it, catch it.
This is a Jerry World game, right?
Yep.
See, I don't like USC on the field turf.
8:30 p.m. So what's that? 5:30 West Coast time.
Okay. When was the last time USC won a big game on field turf?
Well, not the last time they played in the Jerry World.
Not in Jerry World.
So they lost to Alabama.
Think about it. They bet the last one was against Washington last year. They lost to Washington State on field turf. They lost to Notre Dame on field turf. All their good wins this year were on grass. See,
interesting.
I come with those.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that.
No one would have thought of that. And the Rose Bowl last year, natural grass.
Oh, that dog track.
No, in all seriousness, have you been on that field before?
The Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Probably in my life at least once, but not recently.
It's freaking carpet. It's carpet grass. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like the fairway at the nicest golf course you've ever been to. It's just unbelievable. It's so incredible how good it is.
Southern California, man.
I digress. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know the field turf.
Interesting. I didn't think about that. And Ohio State's used to it because they play in weird domes and
They
weird
play
snow
on,
games.
well, they play on there. They play on that. That's
Yeah.
the turf on the thing. Michael, we're gonna turn to the field turf.
Is that the coin? Is that the coin?
Afterwards, we're gonna look at the field turf and we're gonna be like, "Yep, that's what did it."
It's like, no, Jerry Jones and his stupid turf ruined it for everybody. And Ezekiel Elliott will probably be there because he plays in Dallas.
Oh yeah, that's right. He will be there.
But then Tyron Smith might be there too for the Trojans.
Oh my goodness, I forgot he went to USC. He's so good.
I know. Everyone forgets. I think he was only there for like a couple months, really.
True.
For the least amount of time possible. He was a Trojan. Like, whatever the math is on that. He probably didn't show up early, started as freshman, left as soon as he could.
What's the line on this game?
7.5. With an over-under of 64.5. The Buckeyes are favored.
Wait, Ohio State's favored by a touchdown?
Yep, that's 7.5.
Wow. Interesting.
But they're a public team.
USC is not?
I know. I'm trying to think of who's more famous, Ohio State or USC.
Well, who's more national, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State is more national.
I think so, too. USC hasn't won a title in a while.
They haven't, plus they don't, and Ohio State
just the lean
has
years.
That cachet because of Urban Meyer.
But still, 7.5 is a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
It might be the biggest spread left in the bowl games. Let's see. Oh, Southern Miss Florida State's 15. Florida State, who shouldn't even be playing in a bowl game. Way to do your job, NCAA.
I don't know. Florida State said that they updated the thing. I just thought it was funny that they had to issue like a correction. Like they had to have someone come on and like, we actually did the research, and this terrible team, like this Delaware State team, they actually did have – oh, I know what it was. Because academic –
It's graduation rate.
No, academic scholarships count.
That's what it was.
Towards the scholarships. Like, okay. So
just to keep everyone up to date, since we're talking, Florida State, there was a question if they should play in their bowl game because one of their wins was against the Division I playoff subdivision team. And for those wins to count, they have to have a certain number of scholarship players or something. And so they had to look into it to see who qualified for what.
Right, so someone on Reddit like went and looked at their roster, and they're like, they're short. They don't have enough. And so then Florida State had to actually do their own investigation. And they said, well, no, if you count the number of players on academic scholarships, then it works.
Thanks.
And it's like, oh my God. Like you're counting academic scholarships on this one AA team that they beat 77-6.
Hey man, that's what they get for scheduling cream puff teams.
You can take all of the shame that goes along with
Notre
it.
Dame and USC don't have to worry about that.
They do not.
I'm riding with the Trojans.
That's fair, man.
Sam Darnold's last game. This is all his magic.
Darnold magic.
He's going to go down as an enigma, I think, at USC. Because he'll have these two this magical 20-game run or whatever that didn't get him a Heisman, didn't get him a national title, but they won 20 games, which is pretty impressive for 2 seasons. And it'll always be like the great what if with Sam Darnold. He'll be like a myth, a Trojan myth.
Maybe he'll turn into the Tom Brady of USC football.
And when he gets drafted by the Patriots, you mean?
Oh my God.
And
don't get me started on the Pats.
My dream comes true. We'll do an emergency pod on April 27th at 10 p.m.
Oh,
whatever. It's in the back end or the early end of the first round. The New England Patriots select Sam Darnold. Trade up and select Sam Darnold.
Oh man!
Because dumb team because the Browns picked Josh Allen.
Do they have the 49ers pick?
Yeah, the second round pick.
Oh, not a first rounder.
But then they have their own, so that's 2 pretty close to each other. So
they're gonna trade it.
If for some reason Darnold's sliding, Tom Brady's only getting older.
They're gonna trade it.
They can make a move, man.
Okay.
Say Rosen goes 1.
They never trade up. They're trading back.
They trade up every now and then.
When did they? In the first round?
Yeah, I mean it's only a couple of spots every now and then, but let's see. Rosen goes 1. Baker Mayfield goes somewhere. Josh Allen goes somewhere. Some dumb team takes Lamar Jackson.
You don't like him? I wish he was Notre Dame's quarterback.
I just mean instead of Sam Darnold. This is only a scenario where the New England Patriots get Sam Darnold.
I got it.
And USC Trojans have a good history on the Patriots. Just saying, Willie McGinnis. Anyways, I digress.
This is you being privileged again.
I need to check my privilege. I believe in the Trojans. I think, yes. The guys I mentioned first up, Sam Darnold, Ronald Jones, they put it on. Michael Pittman, he's coming into his own. Trayvon Sidney, I got it right this time. Trayvon Sidney, he's ready to go. Deontay Burnett in the slot. He'll be great, like usual. I think he was thrown to 108 times this season. And he had like 75 catches.
That's good.
Yeah. But now these other guys have come. Steven Mitchell, who still gets to play for some reason. Maybe he'll get to make a play. So I don't know. I believe in the Trojans. I have no reason not to. As long as it's close. If it's close,
Michael.
Yeah. If this thing's at 10 points in the fourth quarter, I'm feeling okay.
I don't know.
I didn't even talk about the defense. We didn't even mention Jack Jones yet.
Jack Jones.
I mean, could you imagine the legend of Jack Jones if he does a Randall Thrill-Hill in the new Cotton Bowl? Just runs right out the stadium and goes straight to guns like that old Miami team. I mean, it's in the guards.
That's another thing. They need to A, allow red shirts to play, and B, they need to allow just like whatever celebration. Like let it all hang out. These games don't count. They don't count. Let them do whatever they want.
Let them do whatever they want.
Let them have fun. They're kids.
So don't forget the Jack Jones All-American All-American X Factor Jack Jones.
Who could forget?
Never forget.
Nope.
So yeah, Nuoso, he's gonna bat some balls down because he always does. One could go right in Cam Smith's hands. Returns it for a touchdown. Anything's possible.
He does that normally, but I mean, he's playing the grandfather, JT Barrett. he knows all
he's
the
seen it.
tricks.
He's seen it too much. Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
that old man game.
he's seen all of it.
He's got old man game. Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows what JT Barrett could do?
It's like, dude, JT Barrett played with Joey Bosa and his brother.
Which is an impressive
And
feat.
Nick Bosa is not even like a freshman. He's like a sophomore now or a junior.
Yeah.
Like he's
Joey
almost
Bosa's been on the Chargers for 2 years.
Yeah, this fool was like played with two brothers consecutive years.
JT Barrett's never lost to Michigan.
That makes him a hero for me.
He is. He's one of the only. He's one of the only Ohio State quarterbacks to do that.
Wow,
So he's got some legendary status too.
he does.
He's a Big Ten champion. Doesn't matter. Oh, and I hate the Big Ten. I forgot about that. Didn't even mention that yet. I got to dig at the Big 12. I didn't get my Big Ten dig yet. So yeah, USC and the Pac-12 all the way.
Okay.
Never wavering. And then I could really be mad when we revisit this next Tuesday after New Year's when USC beat Ohio State and is somehow not in the college football playoff.
It'll be funny it'll be real funny when Notre Dame will boast a 35-point victory over what will you be, 12-2?
Yeah.
The 12-2 Cotton Bowl champion USC Trojans, and Notre Dame will be 9-4. That's great.
It's kind of what I see in the cards.
That's what we saw in the preseason.
That is true. All right. What do you think? I didn't even ask you. What do you think is going to happen? You hate Urban Meyer.
I do hate him. 7's a lot. 7's a lot. Let's say it's hard because like USC, it's like I can't really imagine Darnold losing a close game, but then it's Urban Meyer, and I can't imagine him losing either. I take USC. I take Ohio State to win, but I take USC to cover.
All right.
So that's
my smart with your money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. We had a lot of information today. We'll be back after the games in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow Greg on Twitter at uhnd.com as well. That's how I knew who the 20 Notre Dame signees were. Without Greg, I would have no idea.
Fantastic.
Because that's just far too many 18-year-olds for me to keep track of.
I'm here to help, Michael.
You are. I'm sure you'll break down the Ohio State game and the Citrus Bowl game.
Correct.
That's actually what I meant. You can follow me on Twitter. I'll probably have some fun USC tweeting on Friday night. And, hey, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Happy New Year, friends.
Fight on.
Go Irish.